Hello and welcome to this Zwift Run live stream. My name is Stephen. I'm a Zwift ambassador, a community run leader and your host today. There's a countdown clock up there showing how long to go before the start of the main event, so you've probably got time to tidy the kitchen, take the trash out and grab yourself a drink before we get going. If you've never seen Zwift before, it's an online game where athletes from all over the world train, compete against and socialise with each other live and in real time. All you need to take part is a foot pod, an internet connection, access to a treadmill and a device on which to run the Zwift app. You can use a computer, an iPad, an iPhone, a high-end Android device. Zwift even works on Apple TV. If you have a smart treadmill, you don't even need a foot pod, as your treadmill will send your speed direct to Zwift. Once you've logged in and made sure your equipment is connected, you can join others live for structured group workouts or social runs. You could do a solo workout or take part in one of the many in-game challenges. You could also pit yourself against people from all over the world in a race. There are various Zwift worlds. Some are based on existing places like London, New York, Innsbruck, Richmond, Virginia and Harrogate in the UK. But the biggest world is the fictional Watopia, where you can run in glass tunnels underwater, through the middle of a volcano, in a jungle, up to the top of a snow-capped mountain and on country trails. Watopia is where the Zwift developers let their imagination fly. Like any computer game, the more you run, the higher up the levels you climb and the more virtual goodies you require. If you're a regular treadmill runner, Zwift is going to transform your training. If you're a hater, Zwift is going to change the way you think about indoor running. Before we go any further, if you're watching on YouTube, please click that subscribe button and the bell icon so you're notified every time we go live on this channel. If you're watching on Facebook, please click the like button on the Film My Run page. Film My Run is also my other YouTube channel where I post real world runs, so if you're interested in marathons, ultra running, 10Ks or triathlons, you'll find product reviews, interviews and races over on that channel. I've been running all my life. I started running long distance races in 2011 when I ran my first half marathon, and that was followed a year later by my first marathon in Paris. I've run the Paris Marathon every year since and have now run well over 100 marathons and ultras. I started using Zwift at the beginning of 2015 when indoor cycling and smart trainers really took off. In the early days, I held the long distance record for cycling of 500 kilometres on Zwift for about 48 hours. And when running started in 2016, I was the first person to run a marathon on Zwift. So if you have any questions about Zwift, if I don't know the answer, I probably know somebody who does. Okay, so now you can go and take the trash out and get that drink. And make sure you keep an eye on that countdown and be back in time for the start proper. Well, go on then, don't just sit there gawping at me. Basically, this message is going to go around in a loop again and again until the start of the run, so you may as well go and do something constructive in the meantime. Hello and welcome to this Zwift Run live stream. My name is Stephen. I'm a Zwift ambassador, a community run leader and your host today. There's a countdown clock up there showing how long to go before the start of the main event, so you've probably got time to tidy the kitchen, take the trash out and grab yourself a drink before we get going. If you've never seen Zwift before, it's an online game where athletes from all over the world train, compete against and socialise with each other live and in real time. All you need to take part is a foot pod, an internet connection, access to a treadmill and a device on which to run the Zwift app. You can use a computer, an iPad, an iPhone, a high-end Android device. Zwift even works on Apple TV. If you have a smart treadmill, you don't even need a foot pod, as your treadmill will send your speed direct to Zwift. Once you've logged in and made sure your equipment is connected, you can join others live for structured group workouts or social runs. You could do a solo workout or take part in one of the many in-game challenges. You could also pit yourself against people from all over the world in a race. There are various Zwift worlds. Some are based on existing places like London, New York, Innsbruck, Richmond, Virginia and Harrogate in the UK. But the biggest world is the fictional Watopia, where you can run in glass tunnels underwater, through the middle of a volcano, in a jungle, up to the top of a snow-capped mountain and on country trails. Watopia is where the Zwift developers let their imagination fly. Like any computer game, the more you run, the higher up the levels you climb and the more virtual goodies you require. If you're a regular treadmill runner, Zwift is going to transform your training. If you're a hater, Zwift is going to change the way you think about indoor running. Before we go any further, if you're watching on YouTube, please click that subscribe button and the bell icon so you're notified every time we go live on this channel. If you're watching on Facebook, please click the like button on the Film My Run page. Film My Run is also my other YouTube channel where I post real world runs, so if you're interested in marathons, ultra running, 10Ks or triathlons, you'll find product reviews, interviews and races over on that channel. I've been running all my life. I started running long distance races in 2011 when I ran my first half marathon, and that was followed a year later by my first marathon in Paris. I've run the Paris Marathon every year since and have now run well over 100 marathons and ultras. I started using Zwift at the beginning of 2015 when indoor cycling and smart trainers really took off. In the early days, I held the long distance record for cycling of 500 kilometres on Zwift for about 48 hours. And when running started in 2016, I was the first person to run a marathon on Zwift. So if you have any questions about Zwift, if I don't know the answer, I probably know somebody who does. Okay, so now you can go and take the trash out and get that drink. And make sure you keep an eye on that countdown and be back in time for the start proper. Well, go on then, don't just sit there gawping at me. Basically, this message is going to go around in a loop again and again until the start of the run, so you may as well go and do something constructive in the meantime. Hello and welcome to this Zwift Run live stream. My name is Stephen. I'm a Zwift ambassador, a community run leader and your host today. There's a countdown clock up there showing how long to go before the start of the main event, so you've probably got time to tidy the kitchen, take the trash out and grab yourself a drink before we get going. If you've never seen Zwift before, it's an online game where athletes from all over the world train, compete against and socialise with each other live and in real time. All you need to take part is a foot pod, an internet connection, access to a treadmill and a device on which to run the Zwift app. You can use a computer, an iPad, an iPhone, a high-end Android device. Zwift even works on Apple TV. If you have a smart treadmill, you don't even need a foot pod, as your treadmill will send your speed direct to Zwift. Once you've logged in and made sure your equipment is connected, you can join others live for structured group workouts or social runs. You could do a solo workout or take part in one of the many in-game challenges. You could also pit yourself against people from all over the world in a race. There are various Zwift worlds. Some are based on existing places like London, New York, Innsbruck, Richmond, Virginia and Harrogate in the UK. But the biggest world is the fictional Watopia, where you can run in glass tunnels underwater, through the middle of a volcano, in a jungle, up to the top of a snow-capped mountain and on country trails. Watopia is where the Zwift developers let their imagination fly. Like any computer game, the more you run, the higher up the levels you climb and the more virtual goodies you require. If you're a regular treadmill runner, Zwift is going to transform your training. If you're a hater, Zwift is going to change the way you think about indoor running. Before we go any further, if you're watching on YouTube, please click that subscribe button and the bell icon so you're notified every time we go live on this channel. If you're watching on Facebook, please click the like button on the Film My Run page. Film My Run is also my other YouTube channel where I post real world runs, so if you're interested in marathons, ultra running, 10Ks or triathlons, you'll find product reviews, interviews and races over on that channel. I've been running all my life. I started running long distance races in 2011 when I ran my first half marathon, and that was followed a year later by my first marathon in Paris. I've run the Paris Marathon every year since and have now run well over 100 marathons and ultras. I started using Zwift at the beginning of 2015 when indoor cycling and smart trainers really took off. In the early days, I held the long distance record for cycling of 500 kilometres on Zwift for about 48 hours. And when running started in 2016, I was the first person to run a marathon on Zwift. So if you have any questions about Zwift, if I don't know the answer, I probably know somebody who does. Okay, so now you can go and take the trash out and get that drink. And make sure you keep an eye on that countdown and be back in time for the start proper. Go on then, don't just sit there gawping at me. Basically, this message is going to go around in a loop again and again until the start of the run, so you may as well go and do something constructive in the meantime. Good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is Film My Run on Zwift. My name is Stephen Cousins and we are broadcasting live on Facebook and on YouTube. While we're getting everything ready, it would be absolutely awesome if you could go and subscribe to the Film My Run YouTube channel and also the Zwift Live YouTube channel. You can also find us on Facebook at facebook.com/filmmyrun and also Twitter at filmmyrun, and the website is www.filmmyrun.com. It's very nearly time, so sit back, relax, don't forget to drop me a ride on and watch me do all the hard work. Just asked what the plan is. I've no plan. We do whatever you like. I mean, 10. I'll go at 10. Shall I? How far is it? It's about 6k, isn't it? Yeah, all right. 10 will do me. Right. So welcome along to Bag That Badge. Now, foolishly, I forgot to change it, so we're doing the same route as last week. Yeah, I know. I'm just an idiot. I've been so busy. I've so had things to do, and I just didn't get around to changing the route. And the thing is, I always remember slightly too late. I remembered at 2 o'clock this afternoon, but there's a 6-hour limit, and so you can't change it after 6 hours before the event starts. So Paul Hayward's in the chat there. Victoria's there. Tina's there. Victoria's cooking dinner. Tina's been out for a lovely walk by the sea and shared some photos of that. This afternoon. Hello, Yoko. She says, hello, Stephen and all runners. Hello, Amy. Paul Hayward says, hope you had a relaxing day by the sea, Tina. What else have we got going on? I lost my way to the garage like Amy and ended up in the scary real world for my outside run. Oh my goodness. Right, let's get up to speed then. 10 kph, and we're running for, I think it's around about 6k, 7k. I don't actually know. It's all guesswork as far as I'm concerned. To be fair, most of my life is guesswork, so it's no change from usual. We've got quite a nice little crowd though. We've got about 20 or so runners, so that's good. Welcome along. I'll just chat to them in game, by the way, just to say hello. Welcome along to Bag That Badge. I know some of you missed last week, so I thought we'd do the same route again. That's a total lie. I've got no idea whether people missed it. I'm just making excuses for me forgetting to change it. So this is the 6.7 kilometre Couch to Sky K route. So Paul Hayward's been outside this afternoon. Amy Green found herself outside the other day. I don't know what's going on with people. Adrian Mutzers is with us tonight. Kevin DeLuca looks like he's with us. Amanda Allison is there. Steve Smith is there. Who else have we got? Bob Wilkinson, Magnus, hello Magnus, Andreas, Chris Hall is there, Tony Newton is there, David Harnett is there, Michael Haynes, Brian Stevens, John Justice, Yoko of course, Thomas Martins, Hans Weisinger. Welcome along everybody. Welcome everyone. I hope you are all having a great day. I haven't opened the doors. I need to open the doors. It's going to get hot in here. Victoria says, is that our British ultra running champion, Adrian Mutt says. Yes, as opposed to our British ultra running champion, Jason. Oh no. I always get them mixed up. I nearly said Jason Manford then. So we're on the climb up to the top of the Park to Peak glass roads. It's not the Park to Peak route though, it's the Couch to Sky K route. And we've done half a kilometre already. Now Tina, you told me that you reckoned you got a lot less XP on Tuesday. This morning we were still getting 100 odd XP every kilometre. So I don't know what you had on Tuesday, but it was definitely still fairly good today at the Spill My Run 500. Tina says, you've had a touch too much sun today, Stephen. You're very confused. No, Tina, that's just normal. You should know me by now. Yeah, right, Amanda Allison says the same. Definitely less XP on Tuesday's FMR 500. That is odd, because today I didn't notice it being particularly less. We were still getting like 108, 99. Oh, Jeff Partridge says, what is the new thing that when your shorts change colour as you run? I don't know, what is that? I like those shoes that somebody's wearing. What are those shoes in front? I've not heard of that, Jeff. Where have you seen that happening then? Or where have you heard about it? Tina Beard reckons you get less XP if I'm not there. Do you know, I wholeheartedly agree with that. If I'm not around, you should get less XP. I like it. I think you are just drunk again, Jeff. Yes, so today's weather has been very strange. We started off this morning, and in fact most of the day, beautiful warm sunshine. I've been sitting in the garden for some of the day, but then just around 5 o'clock, suddenly the clouds came over. It got very dark, and it started spitting with rain. It's not pouring with rain, but it looks ominous. You know, when you can see in the distance and there's like really big dark clouds coming in. That's what it looks like. Right, Tina saw somebody's shorts change colour when I watched this morning's stream back. Jeff is not drunk. Well, there's a turn up. Oh, it's shorts, not trousers. You only get turn up trousers, don't you? Not turn up shorts. No rain yet where Amy is. Kevin says, I think you just need to shave your legs, Jeff. It's not the shorts that's the problem. No, none intended, Jeff. None intended. Okay, so there must... Right, there's something... Oh, God, hang on a minute. Oh, no, that's not me. That isn't me. I was going to say my shorts have changed, but that isn't me. God. No, oh, right, maybe I should stop, Tina. Maybe you're right. Something's not... I'm not functioning. But it's... Right. Who's that wearing the bucket hat then? Because somebody wearing a bucket hat, I thought it was me. That is an understandable mistake to make. Somebody else is wearing a bucket hat. And there are not many of us around who A, have them, and B, dare to wear them. So, whoever that is next to me, I thought that was me for a moment, and I thought my shorts had changed. Right, Tina is standing by Jeff Partridge's claim that he's seeing shorts changing colour. Is that just... Yeah, that's just solidarity of the pensioners, that is, isn't it? I upset somebody on Facebook today. Surprise, surprise. I was trying to explain about the London Marathon being a fun run event where most people will be taking photos and using their phones. We were talking about this government, you know, the government's plan to do an emergency alert at 3 p.m. on London Marathon Day. And somebody said, who's going to be using their phones when they're running the London Marathon? And I kind of said, well, almost everyone, apart from like the elite runners. And she basically, this lady was annoyed at me because she thought I was suggesting that anyone who isn't a fast run, isn't an elite runner, is somehow not trying very hard because they're taking photos on their phones. I suppose I could have worded it better. I don't know. Anyway, she accused me of being elitist. What can you do? Right, Tina says that's fighting talk, Mr. C. I don't know what you're talking about, Tina. I never said a thing. Never said anything. 1 mile done. Let's have a look. What's going on in chat here? Paul Hayward says it's beautiful where he is. Kevin DeLuca says, have you seen the start time for the Olympic Marathon for All in Paris next year, Stephen? Kevin, what time does the marathon start in Paris? Question mark. So there are 2 marathons in Paris next year. There is the standard Paris Marathon, which happens every April. And then, of course, next year is the Paris Olympics. And it's the first time ever that the public will be allowed to run in the main Olympic marathon. It's called the Marathon for All. Obviously, the elite runners will be set off earlier first. Wow. 9 p.m. start. That is mad. So the marathon starts at 9 o'clock in the evening. My goodness. So the thing about this, so the marathon next year, the Olympic marathon, is called the Marathon for All. And there is going to be a ballot to enter the marathon. But it's not open to everyone. It is open to people who apply beforehand, and you have to have an app on your phone. You can get it now, the Paris Marathon 24, Paris Olympic 24 app or something. And by running every day, doing your normal runs, you log points and you take part in challenges. And by taking part in the challenges and logging all the points, you eventually accrue enough points to be allowed then to enter the ballot for the Paris Olympic Marathon next year. I think the ballot is in January. So I think I've got enough points now on my app. I don't know, I haven't checked it in ages. I just remember downloading it, and basically you just download it and you link it to Strava or something like that. I mean, it's not very many points. You don't have to do an awful lot. You could download it now and still get enough points to enter the ballot in January. So if you'd like to do the Olympic Marathon next year, you can enter. Well, you can enter to enter the ballot. Tina says you're not known for your diplomacy, are you? No, that is true, Tina. You are correct. I can be, what's the word? Inappropriately blunt sometimes. And to be honest, I don't always mean it. Sometimes I'm just not aware how blunt I'm being. And I have been known to be really rather rude without meaning to be. Other times I'm deliberately being, you know me, I'm deliberately being sarcastic and a bit on the edge. Right, Amy says, I saw a comment about me. It said to watch the live stream so you can see everybody's reactions to it while they are running. Explain that, Amy? Sorry, I don't follow that. Write the comment again, but this time try and make sense. I can't understand it. I'm sure it's just me. Jeff Partridge says we should all be in the pub after the London Marathon by 3 p.m. Definitely not trying hard enough if you're still out there at 3 p.m. I said it. I didn't say it. That was Jeff Partridge that said that. Right, we are 2.5k in nearly. I might have to open the door now, so bear with me 2 seconds. Let some cool air in. Tina says, there we go, diplomacy removed. What, you mean me saying to Amy to make some sense? Oh yes, okay, to watch the London Marathon live stream and watch everyone's reaction to the alarm. Yes, because of course the TV cameras will have a massive long view of thousands of people running up the Mall or something like that, or running along the embankment, and at exactly the same moment everybody's phones should beep, shouldn't they? How exciting. But everybody will be ready for it as well, won't they? Everybody will be prepared, so they'll kind of all know that something's coming. So maybe it won't be quite as funny to watch as you might expect. Well, you never know. Okay, we're just over 15 minutes in to bag that badge. We're gently trotting up the hill on the Sky Roads. 2.6 kilometres in, 4 to go. In my group here, we've got Tony, Steve, Amy, Amanda, Jeff, Todd Martin. Is it Todd Martins? Hang on a minute, I can't remember. Thomas Martins. So has everyone else, apart from Tina, who has had a lovely afternoon on the beach, has everyone else had a good day? I finished up my video editing today, so I've got the Manchester Marathon video is now live. To be honest, I finished it off this morning, and I've just been sitting in the garden all afternoon doing nothing. As Tina can testify to, because she saw the video at about 11 o'clock this morning or something. Anyway, yes, the Manchester Marathon video is online now. Lovely day in the sunshine, taking photographs of my uni work, says Amanda. Tony says he's had a good day as well. Paul Hayward has been scarifying the lawn. I think he means mowing the lawn. Right. The intrigue as to what Jeff's secret job is deepens. He says, it couldn't have been me that Tina was referring to with regard to diplomacy, because I have a diplomatic visa, and therefore I must always be diplomatic. Jeff Partridge, ladies and gentlemen, has a diplomatic visa. Does he also, we ask, have diplomatic immunity? Could Jeff Partridge murder us all and claim diplomatic immunity? Are we all the subjects of some dastardly government plot in which Jeff Partridge is the main player, gathering information daily on our physical activity and mental well-being, only to reveal himself in years to come as the mastermind of a dastardly plot to undermine marathon running in this country? Tina Beard says Jeff Partridge, international man of mystery. Or maybe he just likes milk tray. It could be that, Tina. I think there's no international mystery. He just likes milk tray. That's all it is. And he swings inside hotel rooms on a rope from a helicopter to steal milk tray from dashing young ladies. Dashing young ladies? Can you be dashing? Beautiful young ladies? I quite like dashing, actually. Dashing's a nice word. Hello, Heather. She is listening whilst sanding the front door. I hate DIY. Come on, Heather. Get the husband to do it. Sanding the front door. I hope you're wearing a mask and that sawdust is not going into your phone where you're watching this video. Or are you just listening? I suppose you've got your headphones on. Kevin DeLuca says Jeff Partridge also called the mysterious Welshman. Yeah, the mysterious Welshman who has mysteriously moved to a county that does not exist. This gets deeper and deeper. I think we are gradually unravelling what's going on here. I think just a few more years of running on Zwift and we will out Jeff Partridge. Or reign of terror will come to an end, Jeff Partridge. Right, the thing is, for anyone not watching the live stream, that is a very confusing message. Can you imagine if you're not listening to the live stream? Can you imagine if this is your first time on Zwift? You've never run on Zwift before, and you've joined this group run just to see what it's like, and someone says your reign of terror will come to an end. Apparently, Sebastian is running outside, says Heather, so he can't sand the front door. Why do you envy Jeff? Zwift hasn't crashed, Jeff. You're all right. It's not going to crash. Kevin reckons that me running 2 sub-3 marathons has got maybe go a bit mad. Right, we're well over halfway, by the way. 3.6k in, only just over 3 to go. Right. So I've said, imagine if somebody isn't listening to the live stream and they saw me put that up about your reign of terror will come to an end, Jeff Partridge. Tina's just said, can you imagine if they are listening to the stream? That's possibly even madder. Look, this is perfectly reasonable, but how long have you all known me? This is normal behaviour. You should know by now. Kevin reckons we need to ask Victoria to help. Come on, Stephen, you really need to be milking this a bit more. That is a fantastic achievement. What, 2 marathons? 2 sub-3 marathons in 2 weeks? Thank you, Adrian. Well, and Victoria says, have you run a sub-3 marathon? Listen, I will get told off. I am behaving myself. Because we all know that Paul Deering is listening. And if Paul Deering isn't listening, Carol Rushworth is listening somewhere, and they communicate, and they send each other messages, and I will be found out. I cannot talk about whether I have or have not run 2 sub-3 hour marathons in the last 2 weeks. It's not on my agenda for discussion, so let's just leave it there. I don't want anyone else to bring the fact that I've run 2 sub-3 hour marathons up anymore, because I'm not talking about it, and frankly, I'm disappointed that you would put me in such a vulnerable position where I could owe Paul Deering money. Paul Hayes says, will be a double fine. Yeah, exactly, it'll be a double fine. 2 sub-3 marathons equals a double fine. Amy says, I wish I could run a sub-3 marathon. It's all relative, Amy. It is all relative. We do what we can do. You know, to be honest, there was a time when I could only dream of it as well. My first marathon was 50 minutes slower than that. you know, at that time, I tried my absolute hardest. So, I don't know. Victoria says, I wish I could run sub 4. Victoria, you have run sub 4. Jeff Partridge is saying, yeah, definitely leave it there. Don't talk about it anymore. Okay, Jeff. Point taken. It's on board now. There will be no more discussion about whether I have or have not done what I suggested I might have done, and some other people very kindly have suggested that I did in fact do in the last couple of weeks. Tina Pearce says, I wish I could run anything right now. Well, I think, to be honest, I think that's what Victoria's thinking at the moment as well. She's got 4 days, 4 days until the London Marathon. I've told her not to run at all until then because she does have a little bit of a niggle and we need to be very, very careful. Her tendon on her right leg by her ankle is a bit sore, so it may well just be a very slow crawl around London to get it done. I mean, if Victoria wasn't doing this little challenge of 3 marathons in a month, we would probably say don't do it. But I think I think it's worth it as long as she just keeps it very easy and relaxed. Hopefully it'll be all right. But yeah, she does have a little tiny niggle in her right leg. 3 days, says Victoria. 3 days till the London Marathon. Right, we're back off the Sky Roads now and down onto the reservoir path. Kevin DeLuca is claiming that Loch Ness was flat. The Loch Ness Marathon was not flat. Kevin, come on. Amanda says, I think I chose bad marathon events for anything quick. Well, that is true, Amanda. I mean, you're not going to get a quick marathon time in Mont Blanc, are you? The Mont Blanc Marathon is not going to be quick. Yeah, I agree with you. I don't think, Amanda, that Ben Nevis... Loch Ness Marathon was flat. There was definitely a couple of little steep hills in that, weren't there? Jeff Partridge says Loch Ness is downhill. It is net downhill, but in the same way that Boston Marathon is net downhill, that doesn't tell the full story. There are some sneaky, steep inclines and a couple of long climbs in Loch Ness. Neil, hello Neil Messenger. He says, my PB for the marathon is 3 hours 54 minutes. I want to do a marathon in 3 hours 30 minutes. I would be so happy if I did that. Neil, I think it's perfectly possible. You just have to train for it. You have to train and be consistent and put in the miles. Here he is. Look, here he is. How does this happen? How does this happen every time? Paul Deering is in the chat. Sub 3 marathon, please. Just tuning in. Have I missed anything? What the hell? Who keeps messaging this guy? It beggars belief how this happens every single time. Paul Deering, you've missed nothing and I've said nothing and I am not saying anything now. My lips are sealed, no comment. Any interview question, no comment is my reply. PC Deering. Evening all, PC Deering here at your service. Am I a bit of assistance? What's going on here then? Do I hear talk of sub 3 marathons? I honestly don't know how he knows. Somebody, right, one of you guys is messaging him because I honestly don't know how it happens. I mean, I love it when you tune in, everyone. I do, appreciate you guys being there. But I have also understand that you can't listen and tune into every single live stream that we do here. You'd be on the computer all the time, or looking at your phones constantly. Because, mind you, I wonder what Clive Finnemore's thinking now, poor old fella, with his broken rib, not able to live stream or run the treadmill at all. Anyway, I appreciate that you can't watch everything, but it does appear that Paul Deering is either getting inside information from someone, or he does actually watch and listen to every single live stream in case he needs to pop into the chat. Tina Beard says, oh yes, we can listen to every single live stream. Anthony Anderson says, did you see the woman who finished third in the race? Yeah, yes, I have seen that. So yeah, I mean, right. So just to be clear and make everybody aware. So, Leo Loughran. Leo ran a race the other day. 50k. Is it 50k or 50 miles? 50-mile race, and won it the other day. Liverpool to Manchester, was it? Liverpool to Manchester, or Manchester to Liverpool race. 50-mile ultra by GB Ultras. And he won it. Amazing. But there was a lady who also ran it, who claimed the third prize. And it turns out, very intelligent woman as well. She's a GP, for goodness sake. And very strangely, she decided she was tired and she was going to drop from the race. So she dropped from the race and got into her friend's car. And the friend took her to the next aid station, where she was supposed to take off her bib, hand it in and say, I'm dropping from the race. Well, apparently she did say that she was dropping from the race, but one of the marshals at the aid station, one of the volunteers, said, oh, don't drop, you'll be gutted if you drop from the race now. Which is a bit odd, because you would then think she would say, well, no, I've already been in a car, so I have to drop. But she agreed to continue, but she says she agreed to continue in a non-competitive way. So she should have taken her bib off and just ran the rest of the course if she wanted to, and then got to the end and said, no, I'm not actually taking part anymore, I've dropped. But she got to the end of the race, and they gave her third lady. And she accepted the award, had photos with it and everything, and then got found out. Very experienced ultra runner, has run for Great Britain as well. And like I say, she's a GP, she's a well-respected member of the community and runner. But not anymore. Yeah, a very odd thing to do. She claims she was confused and tired at the end of the race, and she knows she shouldn't have done it, but I mean, you're not that confused and tired at the end of 50 miles that you can't say, oh, I've been in a car, I don't qualify for third place. Very strange indeed. Anyway, that's all I'll say on that. I do kind of feel a bit sorry for her, because she has had massive criticism and basically loads of abuse online, which really is unfair. I mean, you shouldn't have to suffer that. Right, back to the debacle about how the hell Paul Deering knows when I might possibly mention sub-3 marathons. He says, Tina and myself have absolutely no social life. And Tina agrees, says, yep, that is it, Paul. So there we are. The answer is that both Paul Deering and Tina Beard do actually tune into every single live stream. They may not comment all the time, but they are lurking there in the background. Right, look. 1 kilometre to go. Oh, I've bagged that badge this evening. And we're going to be done in about 6 minutes. Thank you very much for tuning in. Well done if you've taken part. well done if you are about to get this Route Achievement Badge. Thank you very much for joining us today. Remember, we do a new Route Achievement Badge every Thursday on this channel. Victoria says, yeah, this is our social life. Tina says, this is great therapy. I've laughed so much now. Well, that's good. Yeah. I mean, you know, if it's not keeping fit by running on the treadmill, at least it's having a laugh together, isn't it? Just enjoying the fun of it all. Right, Jeff Partridge says, see, my shorts are white with a black band now, rather than black with a white band like they were at the start. I'll have to go back on the live... Are you serious, Jeff? I'll have to go back on the live stream and have a look. I mean, I don't think my shorts have changed. My shorts are the same as they were before, I think. Just all black. Right, Jeff Partridge is still convinced that his shorts are changing colour. And he says, yes, I took a photo earlier. Okay. Well, right, now Jeff is claiming he has photographic evidence, which is exactly what a spy would do, isn't it? This is exactly the behaviour of an international spy. Taking photographs. That's what they do. And then they file them on a USB drive and hide it. Well, I'm not saying where they hide it, but let's just say it involves Vaseline. And it's not pleasant. Tina says, yes, Jeff, I see. My black and white shoes often change to pink mid-run. What is going on with you people? Victoria says, going back to being social and having a laugh together. Victoria says, at the weekend, I met some lovely people, it was lovely to meet more Zwift runners in real life. Why? What were you doing at the weekend, Victoria? Were you somewhere special at the weekend? On Tuesday, my yellow ZLDR top turned black during the course of the run, says Jeff Partridge. Right, this is weird now. This is getting weird. 500 metres to go. I've bagged that badge. And then I'm going to go and have food. That's not a shot you want to see all the time. Thanks for joining, everyone. Anthony Anderson says, what are they putting in running drinks these days? I tell you, somebody who wouldn't know that is Eliud Kipchoge, because he missed his, didn't he? So Eliud's got no idea what they're putting in running drinks, because he runs so fast his hand just misses the drink completely. Victoria says she ran a 5k at the weekend. Ah, that's what it was then. Okay. Jeff Partridge claims he hasn't touched a drop, which none of us believe. Again, the behaviour of a spy, lying. Blatant lies, no less. Amanda Allison, I've noticed my black shoes change to pink a couple of times. Right, we're going to have to keep an eye on this then. I think I'm going to have to ask HQ what this is all about. Because if this sounds like a genuine thing that's happening. People's attire is changing colour. Jeff Partridge says it's wine o'clock in 200 metres. Cheers all, he says. hope you're not driving home from this run, Jeff. I suppose you could drive home before you have your drink. Yeah, and Paul Hayward says, well, Jeff, come on, wait till you've had your shower at least. Last week, some runners had high-waisted wedgie shorts, says Tina. Well, I'm very confused. I've not seen any of this, or at least I haven't noticed it. Maybe I just need to open my eyes a bit and have a look. There we go, 6.7k. Should we just run to 7k just to make it a round number? It's not an even number, is it? But 6.7. I suppose 7 kilometers is better than 6.7. Thank you very much for a very entertaining chat this evening on YouTube. If you were watching on Facebook or Twitch, most of the live chat is actually on YouTube. So you're probably best, if you want to take part in the chat, your best bet is to come and join us over there on YouTube. But yeah, thank you very much if you took part in that. I've gone the wrong way. Everyone else has gone left. Of course, I've gone straight on. And Paul Hayward says you're in your prime, so 7 will do nicely. Very good, Paul. Amy says, thank you, Stephen. John Farrell also saw people wearing high-waisted wedgie shorts the other day on Zwift. Right, here we go then. 7k done, and we are finished for the evening, and we'll be back tomorrow. Rounded up to 7, just to get the extra XP, and yeah, we'll be back tomorrow. What shall we do tomorrow? Events. Let's have a look tomorrow. What is there? Fast Friday. Gosh. Well, do you know what? When the tours are not on, it's a bit of a dearth of stuff, isn't it? Fast Friday at 7:30. ZLDR recovery hour, 5:30. We could do that, I suppose. That's the one we would normally do, isn't it? Okay. 5:30 tomorrow. ZLDR recovery hour. I think we'll do that. Nice and early, so we can have the evening watching TV and having some food, but we don't have to run too late. It's a sign of getting older when 8 o'clock is too late to start going running. Heather says, well done runners, see you next time. Tina says, thanks everyone, see you tomorrow. Anthony Anderson says, one of the theories about Kipchoge is that his Nike Vaporflies was soaking up the water, making them heavy. Yeah, I've seen that as well. That, I mean, it's interesting, but then you would have thought that super shoes would have material that would get rid of water quickly. I mean, if you wear a pair of Hokas on a trail run, they immediately get rid of the water as soon as you start. If you go through a puddle or a river or something and your shoes get completely soaked, you can start running in them again and the water will discharge from the shoes very quickly. I would have thought that even in a road shoe, the material should allow that to happen. And if not, if the Nike Vaporflies are absorbing water and making the shoe heavier, but the Adidas ones of the guys who won the race and came first, second and third, they were wearing Adidas. What is it about Adidas shoes that means that the water doesn't soak in there? Because that could be a massive thing, couldn't it? If there's suddenly this realization that the Nike Vaporflies and Alpha Flies are soaking up water, whereas the Adizero Adios Pros are not soaking up water. Well, everyone knows what the shoe they're going to choose for a rainy, fast marathon, don't they? Yeah, Jeff says it would have impacted all the elites that were wearing Nike shoes. It would have impacted, yes. So I guess they could do some research, couldn't they, to find out which of the marathon runners, the elite marathon runners, was wearing Alpha Flies, and were their times significantly slower than you would expect for those runners, and were the runners who were wearing Adidas shoes, were they any slower or just as fast as you would have expected them to be on the Boston Marathon course? Yeah, it's like Formula One, says Victoria. Jeff Parcher says he doesn't buy the theory about water in the shoes. To be honest, I'm not sure I do either. My personal theory is basically that he'd underestimated the course, that they had not really realised how much that second half would take out of Kipchoge. The three guys who came first, second, and third had all run the course before. They all knew what was coming, and of course the winner. And whose name escapes me now. The winner had won it the previous year as well. Yeah, I think I agree with you, Jeff. Daniel Jury says, I like your HR matches workout zone. Yes, the colour of your HR, you mean, on the left-hand side of the screen. I've always liked that. One thing I really always liked about Zwift is how the heart rate is so primed to be used as a tool on Zwift because of the way it's coloured. You can see very clearly what zone you're working in and how hard you're working compared to how hard you feel you're working, and against what speed you're going. I really like the way heart rate is done on Zwift. It's really good. Right, that is it from me. I've waffled on far too long. I'm going to have my dinner. Take care, everyone. Thank you very much for watching. Good chat as well, and we'll see you all tomorrow for the ZLDR Recovery Hour. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.